spectacular episode of Radio Respects. Well, the season's over. That's right, Halloween is past us, and as I discussed on a prior episode, there's a shitload of content that came out. In just October alone, it seems. So, this episode is gonna basically be a metric fuck ton of reviews. Back to back to back to back to back. I saw all kinds of good shit with the sole purpose, not just, to say the sole purpose was to review on this would be a little wonky. But all I will say is I enjoyed so much of what I saw this month. The actual Halloween wasn't that great, wasn't that awesome, wasn't that spectacular for your boy, but that's okay. It was the first Halloween in a long time when I haven't actually released music on my own, or released any sort of new media or anything like that. It's been a hot minute. And I've usually been pretty good about at least putting something out on Halloween for you guys. It's kind of become, I don't know, part of the gimmick, part of the shtick. Let's angle that down a little bit. Too much headroom, babies. Sorry. But I'm living with it. Money was good this year. Business was good this year. 500 Block just played back-to-back Halloween shows this past weekend. What I should do is immediately start this episode by saying thank you to anybody and everybody who has attended a 500 Block show as of late. We've been really putting in the work to make these shows fantastic, to make our sets better than the one that comes before it, and quite honestly, we've been doing a whole shitload of improving as of late. Not to mention, we have a bunch of new songs we've been playing that aren't released yet. But if you want a taste of things to come, check us out live, the 500 BLK on all social media, the 500blk.com, all that good shit. We are easy to find. So, with that being said, I would like to extend a little bit of a thank you to anybody that came out to our shows in Melbourne. I almost forgot where the fuck we played. Melbourne and Winter Park, the Orlando area. Bit of stiff competition in the Orlando area. We were playing on the same night as some of the biggest bands in metal, and that was definitely a fucking task. But still went pretty well. We still all had a pretty damn good time. I'm mystified by the fact that, there are venues allowing Full Sail students that don't know how to run sound. Running sound. But beyond that, it was awesome. So yeah, that's what I was up to. I almost blacked out during our fucking Melbourne show because it was outdoors and I was wearing a bodysuit. And I was like, it's the middle of, it's fall, right? I'll be alright, right? Wrong, son. Fucking wrong. Your boy got dealt a card of death. And during not lockdown or looking back, but the song we play after that, the fourth song in our set, I just froze and just stopped moving. In fact, I have video of the whole set, and I'll go ahead and make a note right here to, in fact, you won't know. So let's just do this. You want to see some footage? Want to watch some magic happen? Booyaka! And we're back. Hi, how'd you like that footage of me almost dying? Wasn't that some good stuff? Wasn't it? Yeah, so I just sort of like stayed there static and let the wave of nausea roll over me, hoping it would pass, and I've been all kinds of fucked up ever since that day. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if it was heat stroke and my brain has just been all kinds of fucky-wucky ever since then. I don't know. But nonetheless, the shows were good. Turnout was okay. I mean, whatever. We got paid, sold some merch, did the thing, and it was pretty aight. No complaints overall. Yeah, man. So as I said on the very, very earliest of the beginnings of this episode, just 5 minutes ago, we got so much to get into. Now, news, there's a lot of news, sure, but I'm going to just break that into a separate episode because I already promised you guys I was going to get into these specific pieces of media and give you my opinionated, sharpened, tactful vigor regarding them. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to piss and moan about these various things. So let's start off with the not so good, shall we? Let's start off with one of the worst movies in this franchise's history. Halloween Ends. That's right. Halloween Ends. As if Halloween Kills wasn't a bad enough title. Halloween Ends is here just to say, hold my butcher knife. And let me tell you, kids, if, a little bit of a spoiler warning for all of these projects. If you haven't seen any of these films, fuck off. Or skip, whatever. But I will say this, that everything about this movie pisses me off, upsets me, and insults me as a fan of Michael Myers. It insults the character of Michael Myers. It is proven to me that Danny McBride, David Gordon Green, Blumhouse, all of them, have a fundamental misunderstanding of the Michael Myers character and feel that because so many interpretations of this character have been farted out over the years, that why not add another? Fuck it, right? It's like comic book characters at this rate. There have been so many interpretations of this character and that character. Of course, we have to put our creative spin on it. But there are some times when the creative spin and liberties taken with something that's so passionately beloved, especially by something as rabid as the horror community, and you just piss on it, and not even with the intention of doing something new to continue it. Like, okay, spoiler alert, they kill Michael Myers. They kill Michael Myers in the end of the movie. Michael isn't really a force in the film besides the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, so give or take. The rest of the movie is basically following a copycat killer, the Corey kid. And you know what? It would have been cool if you wanted to continue Halloween and make evil transcendent and make it sort of as if Michael has passed on the evil. It almost did that with Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4. Then they, at the end of that movie, were just like, nope, fuck that. Now she's a mute. And then 5 rolled around, and they're just like, oh, wait, so all that cool shit that we just planted in your brains about the little girl maybe being the killer in the next one, not happening. And they kind of did the exact same thing in this. Now, not the exact same thing, but pretty close. They lead you in with this understanding that, oh, this may be the new killer, this may be the new guy, this may be the new Michael, the new shape of evil. Because after all, evil takes all kinds of shapes, right? But then they kill the kid. Then they have Michael kill the kid in the end. So all of this non-Halloween, all of this non-Michael Myers shit just feels like complete filler and a complete fucking waste till the tail end where you just feel slapped. I felt insulted personally. I felt it was an absolute waste of time. I felt it was a waste of pixels on some SD cards. It was an absolute waste of pixels. I'm not happy to report this to you guys. As you know, anybody that knows me for 5 minutes knows I grew up on the Halloween franchise, knows that I am, Jesus Christ, I'm so indebted to it that if it wasn't for the Halloween franchise sort of influencing me as a little boy, along with 90s pro wrestling and all the bands and comic book shit that I got into in Mortal Kombat, I really can't say that I would have wound up being a special effects artist, a masked entertainer of any sort, if it wasn't for this franchise, these films. this one, I'm going to make a real conscious decision here, right now. You and I'm going to make a promise to you. I am, as of this very moment, going to take Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, both films, and I'm going to delete them from my memory. Okay? Cool? Because quite frankly, the dialogue in Halloween Kills, abominable. Everything in Halloween Kills, insufferable. Avoid it like the plague. That's my review. And it breaks my heart to say that. It really fucking does. I wish I had more than just 10 minutes or 5 minutes rather of me shitting on it. But I don't know what to fucking say about this movie. It went through me like a hot knife through butter. Does that make any sense? It just went the fuck through me. First bump of the mic. First bump of the mic of the episode. H7 goes to turn on his little whoop-em stick. And he bonks the mic. Hold on. It's weed time. Smoke 'em if you've got 'em. So yeah, we're just starting the show with the less than great reviews, the less than great content, right? You always start off limping, and then you start running, right? No, it's all about pacing. That's pacing, dude. Let me tell you something about time, brother. Anyway, so Halloween Ends. I'm almost glad it's over. Let Blumhouse give up the licensing. Give up the franchise. Let it revert back to the Accods. Let it revert back to fucking Dimension or whoever the fuck it is that's doing the thing. And get the fuck out. Because quite frankly, you've proven that you have a fundamental misunderstanding of the Michael Myers character, and you've proven that the version that you want to tell, quite frankly, in the eyes of the fan base, is just fucking inferior. And that's inferior to a franchise that has some real fucking duds. Like, motherfucker, have you seen Halloween 6? Like, seriously, have you seen the theatrical cut of Halloween 6? Give me a fucking break. How do you manage to be worse than that? How do you manage to be worse than Halloween Resurrection? And I say that being a huge fan and supporter of Brad Loree, the guy who portrays Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection. Sweetest dude on planet Earth. But how the fuck do you make a movie that takes the crown of worst Halloween movie from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Like, in the eyes of the franchise, if you look online, everybody is just like, yo, how the fuck did you manage to make something worse than this other shit? But once again, David Gordon Green, Blumhouse, Jason Blum, Danny McBride, all of the involved parties that were creative forces behind why the film was written the way it was, why the film was produced the way it was, why we needed a trilogy to wrap up what 2018's Halloween pretty successfully wrapped up. Honestly, if you had just ditched that fucking last scene of all of them in the truck leaving and then the fucking people going back, if you would have just ended it with Michael Myers being consumed in flames and then that shot of him not being there, that would have been the way you end that whole thing. You want to do your 40 years later? You want to do H2O all fucking over again? Okay, cool. You had it. You fucking had it. But money. You see, but then Halloween 2018 made all of the money. And here we are, with a full-ass trilogy later. And I told myself with Halloween Kills that I would reserve overall ultimate judgment on that film until seeing the conclusion of this trilogy. I have now seen the conclusion of this trilogy, and I want to gouge my fucking eyes out. Okay? Signed, a loyal fan. So, that's that. I almost just wanna fucking move on. Because I did, with my bassist and underlined, Azrael, we went to go see Terrifier 2 with our ladies. Because we saw Terrifier 1 at Spooky Empire, a Halloween horror convention in Orlando last year. I saw it for the first time, Terrifier 1, because of, I guess the whole cast was there, and everybody wanted to go and see their Q&A, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on, so I figured I may as well watch this fucking independent horror movie made by the Bloody Disgusting people. Or at least I thought that was the case, that it was the movie made by the guys who have been putting out all of the horror news that I take in over the years. So it's like, fuck yeah, like let's give them a shot. Let's check this shit out. And it's basically just violence for violence's sake. It's just mindless. If you go into Terrifier looking for like a genuinely good story or like awesome acting, like fuck off. Which is a weird thing to say because I'm that same way about like action movies. Anytime somebody I know is like, oh, well, at least the action was cool, I'm like, okay, well then go play with your fucking Legos. Get out of cinema. Because cinema's supposed to be art. We're not just here to fucking jerk you off. Yeah, it's escapism, but it's also expressionism. It's also expressionist. Is that the word? Expressionism? Did I make up a word there? I don't know. What are words? Let me tell you something about diction, dude. You gotta fucking figure out your words, brother, before you go in there and just start saying things all willy-nilly like. You know, you can't come in there with the red and yellow Harley and just start pontificating, dude. You gotta actually have a script, brother. And that's called working the audience, dude. That's called having bullet points, brother, so you don't get lost in the sauce, dude. That's how you do that, brother, with the red and yellow, dude. That's how you do that with the red and black attack of the NWO Wolfpack. Just kidding. It's Hollywood for life, dude. Yeah! Anyway, so we went to go see Terrifier 2 in the theaters, which is cool. And I will say this. Compared to the first one, the first Terrifier, this film is shot very well. This movie had some money behind it, which the first one seemed to have like a $30 budget. This one seems to have like, I don't know, $30,000 budget maybe. No, I'm kidding. I was watching the first few scenes and I'm like, oh, would this set them back a couple $100? But also all of the free, like, well, it probably wasn't free, but they were also filming part of Terrifier 2 in my favorite Halloween store in New York. It's like one of the biggest Halloween stores ever, and it's in like New York. I got to go in there when played Webster Hall. Yeah, Webster Hall, that was it, yeah. And it was honestly one of the coolest experiences of my life. I still have this vintage Swamp Thing vacuform plastic mask that's super beat up because I had to because our van broke down on the side of a mountain, and it was one of the only things I took with me. It means a lot to me because the tour I was on at the time sucked, but whatever. So it was cool seeing that place. And they had their imaging everywhere. Their logos were all over the place, and it was super neat. Now, as far as the movie is concerned, again, story, super vapid, kind of nonsensical. I didn't even remember the fucking overall story of, holy shit, that's a squeaky arm. I didn't remember the overall story of Terrifier 1, so when they lead you to believe that everyone's just gonna die, and the main actress chick, who, by the way, how you doing? I forgot your name. You did great. The main actress, I will say this, the main actress, loved her. She's great. I want to see her in a bunch of shit. She was so fucking good. I don't know. I was rooting for her. I fell for her a little bit, in the way that you're supposed to for the lead girl. You're supposed to, for the quote final girl in these movies, you're supposed to kind of get a little bit of a crush on her. They did all the right shit. They did all the right casting. They wrote her well. That was fine. But then it gets to a point where, out of nowhere, like this blade that she has that her father gave her. And they're always alluding to the fact that this girl's dad is Art the Clown, but they never quite say it. They say that this guy had got a tumor in his head, right? This family, the father of this family, right? This guy, middle of nowhere, whatever, podunk, who gives a fuck, in New York, gets a brain tumor. He starts being abusive. He starts doing really fucked up shit. Then he dies, apparently. And all this shit starts happening. And they're going through this art book of the father's characters and things that he would draw and shit like that. I don't know, maybe he was into D&D or whatever. He was into cosplay. This main character chick, they really made this movie for horror convention goers. There's an additional little apparition character that I guess only Art the Clown sees, the little girl clown. The whole time I saw that character, the second that character popped on screen, I'm like, ugh, great. They literally just made something for couples to cosplay. That's all this is. All this is. There's no reason for this character to exist other than the fact that they want to service the horror convention community. And I get it. Get in where you fit in. The horror community and those conventions is where Terrifier kind of got its sea legs and where a lot of the fan base commingles. So why not make your sequel like a love letter to those people? I get it. There's all kinds of cool nods to like cosplay and costume design and all kinds of cool shit. That was cool. I honestly didn't hate it. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. Check it out, definitely. If you liked the first one, you will love this one. If the first one kind of went through you and just didn't really hit you, and you just saw it as amateur violence for amateur violence with no tact, with no reason, just shock for shock's sake, then this one you may want to pass, because it's literally just that times 10. They're also doing this cute little thing where they're going and like and putting out advertising all over the place saying people are passing out from the violent. Like, they're really trying to push this as a movie that people are freaking out over, when quite frankly it's doing okay numbers, but it's marketing, guys. It's marketing. Don't, like, the amount of people who have been like, yo, did you hear people are passing out with the Terrifier 2 screenings? Bro, how much you want to bet one of those people already had a heart condition and was probably in the midst of a heart attack before they already got into the theater? How many of you want to bet that there's probably just some fat fucking piece of shit that wanted to go see Terrifier, right? And then he just was in such terrible garbage health because America, and then what? We're now going to blame the movie because he just so happened to be, and commandeer that for marketing? Like, it's great. It's great. I guess use it for marketing. I get it. I fucking get it. I just think it's a little hilarious how so many people fall for it so blindly. I don't know. Call me jaded, but I've worked one too many wrestling shows to know when something's a work and to know when something's a shoot, dude. So let's get into something that was really good. Way better. Hellraiser 2022. That's right. We're in the habit, because Halloween did it, where you're going to do the thing where it's not a sequel, it's not a reboot, it's just a new continuation, a new iteration of sorts. Fuck it. We'll just call it by its original name. Halloween. Flash forward 40 years. Halloween. Scream. 1997, 96, I don't know. Flash forward 20 years. Scream! Okay, but isn't it Scream 5? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just Scream. Fuck off. Okay, alright, shit. Fuck, calm down. Alright, fuck, you gotta redo Predator. What do we call that? Predator? No, fuck that. No, we can't do that. It's too easy. Just call it Prey. Oh, get it? Oh, I just got it. Okay, fuck, we gotta redo Hellraiser. What do we call it? We call it Hellbound Heart? No, nobody will know what it is. Do we call it... Do we put... What do we... Do we... Fuck it, just call it Hellraiser. Now, with that being said, due to the lack of originality with the title, I was not expecting much. I was really not expecting much out of this, quite frankly. And that's just because the entirety of this franchise... Sad. Very sad. It's been cast off into direct-to-DVD hell, right? VOD hell. Nobody expected a true return to form. Nobody anticipated a real comeback, a good Hellraiser movie. Fuck you. What year is this? Baby. Now, if you ask me, I think the Hellraiser movies started really fucking off around the third or fourth one. I know people that won't even watch the third and fourth one, but I have made the mistake of watching all of them. Everyone. All of them. I've seen them all. And some of them are terrible. A lot of them are just scripts of miscellaneous stories, miscellaneous, like, B-grade, B-C tier indie horror movie scripts that they just sort of clearly wedged the Cenobites and the puzzle box into. And those aren't great, but they're not terrible. This is an all relatively original composition here. Hellraiser 2022. I love Jamie Clayton as the Hell Priestess. But Pinhead, as you know it. And I loved the character design of all of the Cenobites. I loved the cinematography. It is shot so fucking well. This movie has no business looking as good as it does. It looked so good that I was almost a little upset that it wasn't longer. The movie wasn't longer. But I loved it. I did love it. The one thing I didn't like was the central character. Because the whole movie is basically a story of addiction. You're following this junkie chick and her shitty boyfriend, and, like, I swear, it's like I've known this main character in real life so many times that I was kind of just rooting for her to get fucking murked immediately. Every decision she made just fucked up more shit for people around her. Every fucked up choice that she made was just to service herself and the name of her own game. Just a complete me junkie. Me-phobe. Just me, fuck all you. And I get it that in Hellraiser, the main characters are always pretty fucked up. They're always pretty irredeemable individuals, for the most part, except for, like, Christy in the first one, I guess. But Christy was the name, right? Yeah. But I will say this. Besides that, I loved it. Completely. I don't know where you go from here with a sequel. It would be really cool if this was just kind of a one and done, but I know that ain't gonna happen because this has been very well reviewed, and Hulu, hold on, I'm scratching my nose. People are gonna be like, he's picking his nose on air. I'm not. I'm scratching my nose because I'm sweating. It's hot as fuck in this studio. You know, spend all this time, all this money to build all of this. Look at all of this, guys. Look at all of this. To build all this awesome fucking studio and shit. Right? All this shit. Check it out. We're out here. Chilling out, maxing. All this. No air conditioner. I mean, there's an AC vent. It's just super small and doesn't work. So I'm blaring a fan behind me, and if you hear that, don't give a shit because it's hot as fuck in Florida. I'm also playing some miscellaneous background music that I hope isn't too overbearing. The last episode, it kind of bothered me how loud it was. nobody seemed to dislike it, though. Everybody I asked about it that actually listened to the episode was like, it was pretty cool. It was like ambience. I was like, oh, all right, good enough for me, I guess. So, but yeah, Hellraiser. I mean, I wish I could give you a more in-depth fucking review, but like, I just loved it in general. It was overall super worth it. If you have at any point in your life enjoyed a Hellraiser movie and have been disenchanted or disenfranchised by the state of those films in recent years, the VOD ones specifically, then give this a shot, because it is a true return to form. I would love to see this continue with this crew, with these people. I want to see this continue. But I know that there's also another Hellraiser thing in production right now, aside from this, that I believe Clive Barker is involved with. Clive Barker signed off on this one, but I don't know what the deal is with the other Hellraiser product. Yes, there are multiple Hellraiser products being developed at once, in the same way that they released that Chucky reboot, but they called it Child's Play or something like that, because legally the Sci-Fi Channel was creating the Chucky series, but the film people could do the Child's Play thing, so they called the doll, Buddy, like Buddy. They just did all that, and I don't think they ever called it Chucky in the movie, in this reboot, which I think bombed also, by the way. But all I know is the Sci-Fi series is doing pretty well. I have seen none of it, though. I know a bunch of people that watch it. I got a friend of mine who just recently got to do a guest star thing on there. It was very cool for her. But I don't watch it. I probably should. Maybe I will. If you want me if you want my miscellaneous nonsensical opinions on the Chucky Sci-Fi series, let me know, because I'd be happy to give them to you. I'd be happy to do an episode where we talk about nothing but like a full season of a show, That'd be a cool hour where we just go over one thing. I don't know. I like that idea. Be an excuse to get a guest in here who has also seen that thing, whatever it would be. So yeah, Hellraiser kicks ass. Go check it out. Werewolf by Night also dropped, and holy shit, this was fun as hell. If this 50-minute Marvel Studios special presentation format is the new thing going forward, if that is the way this is going to be done, then that's okay by me. Then give me more. I want all of it, because it's quick. Not just is it quick, but it's effective, because they trim out all the fat for the most part. And anything that lingers, anything that's slow, feels important. It feels deliberate. It feels so well done. Werewolf by Night is basically this love letter to old school black and white horror. And it isn't up until the last few minutes where you realize, oh shit, this whole thing was taking place in the modern timeline of the MCU. Oh fuck, this isn't the 1930s. This is now. What the fuck's going on? And it gives us an introduction to Man-Thing, who they waste no time trying to not. They waste no time with calling him that. They're just like, no, his name is Ted. He is Ted. Ted. Man, what? Ted. Just talk to him like he's a person. He's Ted. Which makes sense, because like if you know fear, you will burn at his hand. That's how that works, right? That's how Man-Thing works, right? Those who know fear will burn at the touch of, or sight, or something like that, of the Man-Thing. And that's why, like, when he touches people and they're all screaming and they're all scared and shit, you look at their faces. When they're all scared and shit, he's like, touches them, and PG-13 Mortal Kombat fatalities them. Speaking of which, we'll get into Black Adam. Whoa! Anyway, sorry. But yeah, the use of practical effects here is awesome. The cinematography is equally awesome. I loved it all around. Good times. So this 50-minute presentation is really, really fantastic. The lead actor, great. The female lead, fantastic. I really can't say enough good things about this. I don't know, again, much like Hellraiser, where you go from here with these characters. This feels like a one and done. And we may see these characters in passing down the road in, like, cameos. But, like, I don't imagine a Werewolf by Night, like, Disney Plus series. I don't imagine. Maybe, like, a yearly Halloween special where yearly they could maybe do installments, 50-minute installments, maybe every year. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. It'd be cool themed content for the different seasons, much like how Disney's doing the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday suck and fuck extravaganza or whatever the fuck that's called. This could be their Halloween thing, and then you could move that into a Midnight Suns thing, maybe. All I know for sure, all I know for sure, it's been a long day, is I loved it. I really did. I would have to give it a solid, I'll you know what? On my Marvel scale, compared to recent Marvel shit, I give this a real nice 8 out of 10. The only reason why I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, it's just the presentation's new to me, the character is new to me, Man-Thing isn't new to me, but Werewolf by Night wasn't something I was too aware of, much like most people. I'm still over here just waiting for Moon Knight Season 2. I'm over here just waiting for Daredevil Born Again, and that's the fucking extent of it. So when I saw Werewolf by Night was going to be a thing, I was like, oh, cool, but why? You know? So the character choice is a little weird. You literally could have just done a 50-minute Ghost Rider special. You could have done a 50-minute Blade special and trimmed out all the fat in that terrible script that you got that made your director run the fuck away. That terrible script that's pissing off your main star. I don't know. What do I know? That's that. So, Werewolf by Night, good stuff. 8 out of 10, quite frankly. I do recommend, if you're a Marvel stan, check it out. It's good. It's way better than fucking any of this other garbage we've been getting. God damn, way better than that nonsense She-Hulk. Way better than fucking Miss Marvel. Way better than Hawkeye and What's-Her-Nuts. It's about on par with Moon Knight. Not over the top amazing, but pretty damn good. Pretty fucking damn good. So, Werewolf by Night. Check it out. Disney Plus, allegedly. Now, not that long ago, on the day of release, I actually got to go see Black Adam in IMAX. And boy, was it a fucking experience. That shit looked great. That shit was fantastic. The pacing was pretty okay. It seemed like they edited out a lot of miscellaneous action and violence to get the rating from an R to PG-13. Bump the mic number 2 or 3. I've lost track. And a lot of this movie feels like it was Dwayne Johnson's 15-year-old idea that has just not been changed a single bit in the 15 years since he had it, or however long it's been since he started talking about wanting to do a Black Adam movie. It really does feel like 10 years ago, this would have been the biggest fucking... This would have just changed shit. But box office-wise, it's doing fantastic, which is great, because DC went ahead and spoiled their end credit sequence, and it seems to have worked for them, because now people went out to the theater, they all wanted to go see, spoiler alert, Superman's back in the tail end, wearing the Man of Steel costume, too. Pretty cool. So, yeah, Henry Cavill's back as Superman, and he just quit The Witcher, so looks like he's back with some serious super commitments, if you know what I'm saying. But, okay, Black Adam. Dwayne Johnson, awesome. Pierce Brosnan, awesome. The cat that played Adam Smasher, awesome. Hawkman, sleeper hit of the movie. I did not expect to like him as much as I did, and it was fantastic. Cyclone, awesome. The two characters I really could have fucking done without were the miscellaneous human, just the fucking, what's her name? I don't even remember the kids. There was this little kid and his mom, right? That's it. The ones that are like being oppressed by Intergang or whatever, and like the acting of those two. Holy fuckaroni. Jesus Christ, was that bad? Jesus fuck. The kid? Who the fuck was that kid? Hold on. I'm gonna do this right goddamn now. Hold the fuck on. Who was this fucking kid? Because Black Adam cast. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Who was it? Let's go. We're going to IMDb. We're figuring it out, kids. Don't get fucking nervous. We're figuring it out. Is that it? No. I'll find him. Don't you worry. I like that he's like buried in his own cast. Did I go past him? Is he just older now? So no one... Was that him? Yeah, that's him. That kid. This kid is terrible. What a fucking garbage actor. Showing 4 things. What have you done? Where's your IMDb? I want to see your actual... I want to see your work bio. What have you done to deserve a movie with The Rock? Oh my god, he's done fucking nothing. He's done literally fucking nothing. And then he just gets mystery cast as the worst actor. Anyway, my point is, this kid, so terrible. One of the... Oh my god. A level of bad in a major movie that I have not experienced in a hot minute. This film is a solid 6 or 7 out of 10, depending on how much you care about things looking good. I will say this. The movie is... it drags on a bit. It feels like it gets lost in itself. The villain, Sabak, is such a non-entity, although the character who portrays him is there throughout the entirety of the film. The character of Sabak, by the time you encounter him and see him and he is dealt with in the film, he's a non-entity. It doesn't matter, which is kind of a shame, but it's almost better that they did that with such a no-name villain versus getting like a big DC villain and then having The Rock just shit on him, right? And then pissing off a fan base, right? At least this way, this film opens up new opportunities. This film opens up new doors for the DCEU. And now that James Gunn and a bunch of other folks are now leading the charge, Henry Cavill's back as Superman. There's a lot of rumors coming around that Ben Affleck's gonna return to do his Batman movie with Deathstroke, his original script. God, I hope that's the fucking case. Please, Ben. I know you watch the show. I know you watch me, Ben Affleck. Anyway, Daredevil was okay. I liked it. I like the director's cut of your Daredevil. Don't be down on yourself, Ben. Your Batman's awesome too. I love your Batman. You're a great Batman. You're a very good Batman. So,
that all could change.
I will say
Just like
that if I will say one more fucking time, I will jump out a goddamn window. See, this is where the ambient music is coming from. Shout out to Cryo Chamber. Love you, boys. Sorry, I just randomly started hearing. Cryo Chamber does this thing where they'll randomly just start playing someone reading like over ambient music, and it's just so fucking dumb. Like, I'll be sleeping to this shit, right? And I'll just wake up to someone saying, "And then the men travelled on down to the mountainside to encounter true fear. And if he hadn't encountered the true fear, he would have brought his wine tasters with him. And without his wine tasters, the great old god of Cthulhu wouldn't have been able to be there." Yeah, no. And it's just that for like 45 minutes. So I had to, go back and fix that. Anywho, Black Adam. this opens a lot of doors for potential cool shit. I like the involvement of Amanda Waller. I like that it seemed as if she was at this other place that not like the prison we saw in the Suicide Squad, the most recent one, but she was in some other prison with all kinds of other metahumans. So I want to see that. I want this to continue. It was a great launch pad for restarting the DCEU in a new light. So I'm very, very pleased. Very, very pleased. Hope that it doesn't, fall on its own ass, but it is what it is. DCEU is notorious for falling on its own ass. So, kids, that's the reviews. Next episode, we're going to cover the news. But for right now, I hope this suffices. I hope you're having a great-ass time. Halloween was a pretty dope season for me. If you want to reach out to the show, talk about it, tell me what you did your fucking Halloween. Oh, Instagram, @_Inc. Facebook, @H7isdead, @_Dank, on all those shits. Find me anywhere, on any of the social medias. Send me a voice message for the show. You got questions? You got comments? How do you feel about any of these projects? Send me a voice message, and I'm going to start playing these things on the show and interacting with them. At least until we can go live, and I can set up a call-in thing so that you guys can call in and participate with the show live. That's what we're going to do until then. So hit me up. You can even email me. Email me at underlinedmanagement@gmail.com. Yeah. This has been Radio Respects. I am H7, and I'll see you eventually. I'm kidding. I'll see you soon. I'm not going to leave you hanging for weeks. I got a shitload of availability. I'm freakishly wide open, which means I'm going to be in this room doing a lot of radio shit, which means you and I are going to be talking with each other a lot. So, yeah, hit me up with a voice message at _INC, @_Inc. on any of the social medias. Chat me up. I look forward to hearing from you. We also accept PayPal donations to keep this fucking shit show afloat at paypal.me/H7isdead. The thing is right up there. Just full screen the video, and, that's my PayPal. Hashtag H7isdead. Hashtag _Dank. Hashtag Radio Respects. Hashtag go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. I love you. Have a great one, y'all. See you next time. Bye.